Thanks everyone for coming out. We really appreciate you taking the time on a Thursday night. It is a school night, but most of us don't go to school. So, a little bit of housekeeping for tonight. First and foremost, thanks to Graham and Dunn for the space. Couldn't have done it without you. They provided a forum. They help small businesses in the area. We're still a small business, gladly, and they're very supportive of the community and entrepreneurs. So thank you very much. We appreciate it greatly. So we're going to get started tonight. We put together some speakers for you. Here is the quick overview of what to expect this evening. Do a quick primer on background on growth hacking. I'll give you one simple tactic, one goal for tonight for you to take home, some final expectations on the format, because it is a little bit different, as you can tell. It's not your traditional, what we call it, schmooze and snooze conference that you might see in a hotel conference room somewhere. So, been planning this event, this term, growth hacking. I was talking to friends. I was talking to my friend Jason on the ferry. He goes, "What did you just say?" And the term is growth hacking. So I wanted to give a little perspective and context to where this comes from and what it means. It all started with this guy, Sean Ellis, CEO. He's worked on little companies like Dropbox, Zobni, LogMeIn, a computer security firm. And he wrote this post back July 26, 2010. And I've written up a little synopsis. He's still involved today in the tech space. He runs a little firm in Southern California called Qualaroo. Check him out. He's CEO, founder down there. And he's still really involved, and I'll share his site with you at the end of this presentation. But it's also a very controversial topic. DHH, for those of you in the Rails space, this guy David from Chicago, invented Ruby on Rails, got into an interesting conversation just last week on the term growth hacking. What is it? What does it mean? It's a fun dialogue to trace if you are bored at work or on hold with Alaska Airlines. Some guy who will be showing up here later tonight, he even called growth hackers ninja rockstar pirates in 2012. And I was really stoked that he agreed to come out tonight and share some thoughts, even though he doesn't like the term. So how did Sean define growth hacking way back in 2010? Sean said a growth hacker is a person whose true north is growth. And I think that speaks to a lot of us here. We're marketers by heart. We're entrepreneurs at what we do. And this is something that we think about all the time. Not necessarily growth just for the sake of growth. Hopefully it's responsible growth. But really, how do I grow my business? How do I continue to grow it in a sustainable manner so this company, this entity will be around for years to come? And I'm going to walk through a couple of the characteristics that Sean called out in that blog post. He said a common characteristic of a growth hacker seems to be an ability to take responsibility for growth and an entrepreneurial spirit. And he didn't mean that you had to be the entrepreneur. You could be the person with an entrepreneurial spirit inside of a company who just shoulders that burden and say, I'm going to grow this company. You don't have to be VP of marketing. In fact, there's a large segment of the population that says you want a growth hacker in your startup company before you hire a VP of marketing. And what else did Sean say? Sean said you got to have a burning desire to connect your target market with your must-have solution, right? You sit at the confluence of the target market and the solution, whatever it is you're building. I know a lot of you with companies out there have some great solutions. Finding out your target market, Mike Kickline will talk about that tonight with buyer personas, or through your homepage. Michael Elliott will touch on that a little bit later, or through video with Adam Baggett. What else Mr. Ellis said is you have to have creativity to figure out unique ways of driving growth. This is some local graffiti here in Seattle. I thought it was pretty cool. But you have to be creative. And I think some of the solutions, some of the ideas you'll see tonight are creative. They speak to that creative spirit and help folks seek out alternative solutions to common problems we see. And it's not all, you talk about the left brain, right brain, but it's not all creative. And there's also a strong analytical, quantitative aspect to growth hacking and growing your business. And an effective growth hacker is a person who has a process of idea prioritization, who is willing to test their ideas and are analytical enough to know winners versus losers, and then repeat this process quickly, right? So you got to have that discipline to fail, then fix, and then repeat. And I think you'll see that as a common theme through the presentations this evening. This is growthhackers.com. It's a great sort of Hacker News-esque. That's what I thought of when I first saw this site. I was like, oh yeah, I've seen this or read it, up boats and down boats here. And there's some really great conversations up here. I thought, Adam, this was interesting. There's 2 topics of video, A/B testing. What else did they have? Even typography, how typography affects conversions. Wild stuff. Like you could take this to a really low level of testing A/B conversion and how do you do conversion optimization in your business. And it can be an online or offline business, right? Converting a browser to a buyer or a trial user to a paid user is not the sole domain of the internet user. So what's one simple tactic? I was thinking tonight, what can I share with you guys? And for those of you who know me, know I'm a pretty simple person. I don't profess to be a wild visionary, but one simple tactic that I learned from some colleagues of mine in July of last year when I was asking questions about growth. And I was asking them, how did you grow your business? And they shared with me some of their experience. What they said is, don't stay here. Get out from behind your desk. The customer is not walking into your door. They're at events like this. They're out in the field. They're on the ground. Go talk to your customers. You want to figure out how to grow your business? Go talk to your customers. And we had the opportunity to meet some folks here locally who are customers, Brand Verity. They were down the street, right? We're at First in Virginia. They just moved, but they were down near Cherry on 3rd, Cherry and 2nd, near Pioneer Square. Great crew, really passionate, doing awesome stuff at Brand Verity. And they were customers, and still are customers, thankfully. And we made a goal as a leadership team to do 10 of these customer meetings a month. That's between about 40 of us, or 4 of us, that's 40 meetings that we're trying to do a month to meet with customers, both East Coast and West Coast, right? So the guys knocked out 3 or 4 of them yesterday, New York, Philly area, where our headquarters are. And that simple act leads to things like this, where Brand Verity gave us an idea, and you know what? This wasn't sitting in our to-do list. This wasn't sitting in our JIRA backlog. This was something that they said, I hate postponing on a Friday. Why do you send it to a Saturday? It should go to a Monday. And we're like, yeah, you're right. So that's what we did. And we shipped this really fast. And that was just some example of getting out there and talking to the customers and finding a little tweak. It wasn't a lot of work. It was a few hours of dev. It was very, very minimal. And it led to something pretty cool. So that's my one simple tactic. Like I said, it's not rocket science for me. My goal for you tonight is not to reinvent the wheel. There's plenty of very smart, intelligent craftsmen in this crowd and who are going to share some ideas with you tonight. Don't reinvent the wheel. I encourage you to take pieces of each of our wheel that we're sharing with you and make your own wheel. Make a better wheel for your company that fits your needs and gets you to where you want to go within your business. So how's this going to roll? I'm going fast. I'm coming up on 10 minutes. We're going to be very cognizant of time. We chose this more of a cocktail bar-esque format rather than something a little bit more stodgy. So here's what you can expect. We're going to do short format, high value, ignition-esque if any of you have seen, ignite-esque if any of you have seen those sort of talks. I want you to be able to take home a few winners. I challenge the presenters tonight to come with you with very tangible takeaways you could take and go, yeah, I could probably have my dev push that out on the homepage tomorrow. Or you know what, maybe we should sit down and do what Mike said about buyer personas. Those are what we're going to talk to you about tonight. And if it's not tomorrow, maybe it's sometime soon, right? 2014 is a new year. We all did our financial projections maybe, some better than others. And the goal is to go chase those revenue numbers and those growth numbers for 2014. And hopefully this is a catalyst and a jumping off point for you to go do that. So here's the dance card. We have one, John, who is really excited to share with you guys. He's a painter on the east side, Shearer Painting. He does videos about the most boring thing you could think about, painting, and gets hundreds of thousands of views. The dude is awesome. He had a family emergency, and really sorry that we're going to miss him, but I'm going to try to get him to do another one of these if these work out and we get good feedback. We are going to ask for feedback. You're going to get a survey tomorrow, Monday, and we want to see if this has legs in your world and you find it helpful.